Hello, my beautiful warrior of love. Today we're going to be talking about the five love languages. We're going to learn one of the most powerful hacks on how to make sure our loved ones, the ones that we care about, our relationships, that they feel loved in the best way for them, and that we're clear on what is the best way for us to experience love. So if you want to learn one of the most powerful hacks to better your relationships, to make sure those around you feel loved and that you're able to receive, experiencing, and feeling love from those around you, stay tuned.
We are rising up. We are rising up. We are rising up.
Today's video is about the five love languages. Now, this is taken from a book called The Five Love Languages. And the summary of that is that there are five major ways that people experience feeling loved. Now, in my story, I grew up just wondering, I'm like, why doesn't my dad love me? And I realized that his love language was acts of service. So having a belief that says my dad doesn't love me creates a whole reality where you don't feel worthy, deserving, good enough, or I created that. And just realizing, wow, every single time he cooked for me every day, he got up and worked to provide for me. That was him saying, I love you. And if I knew that, I could receive that as his way of saying, I love you, because his way was not my way. My way of experiencing love is through words. So had I known his love language was acts of service, every time he did that, I would know that he loved me. And for me to know what my mom and dad's love language, if I just go, I love you guys are the best, I appreciate you. That maybe that's not their love language. I learned later on from my mom, for example, her love language is gifts. One of them is gifts, and I'm sure touch. So, when I'm not buying gifts, it's like, what, you don't love me? And I'm like, I don't care about gifts, but it's not about our perspective, it's about their perspective. So now whenever I get the opportunity, I like to share gifts with them. Recently, my dad moved to Toronto, so it's, pretty much my dad, my mom, my younger brother, my older brother, all in Toronto. And so sending a gift like, it's Uber Eats so that they can treat themselves to some sushi or whatever they want. It's a small gift, and it's not something, like, for me, I'm like, I include them in my prayers and I pray for them. That to me is like, I love you guys, I pray for you every day. And but for, but gifts, if gifts is the one that really helps them feel loved, then that's what I'm going to do, so that they feel loved. And for me, it's touch and words of affirmations are the two biggest ones. So let's go over them. Five love languages. So words of affirmation, aka words. I love you. Thank you so much for being in my life. I appreciate you. You are such a sweetheart. These are words. So you can text, if someone's love language is words of affirmation, you can text them, you can write them notes you can write it on if you're with them, you can write them notes, you can email them, text them, whatever the case may be. It could be just from the heart, something genuine, encouragement, appreciation, affirmation. Also with words of affirmation, so I remember one of my friends had a partner who she was wanting him to say nice things, and I was like, bro, I'm a poet, let me write some stuff for you. And it broke the relationship because she did not feel loved and he was not able to say nice things to her. So these things have solutions. So words of affirmations is one of the ways that people experience feeling loved. The next one is physical touch. This is my number one, physical touch. And I do it a lot. When I love someone, I immediately feel like I need to give them a hug, give them a high five, some form of touch, like cuddle, like if it's smaller group of a small soul tribe group, then it's like cuddles, just very touchy feeling, like just rubbing someone's back, kind of like just doing one of those shoulder massage things, any and all sorts of things, like even a full-on massage if I feel comfortable with a person. It's like anything, just giving the gift of love through touch. Obviously in a consensual way. So hey, I love you, and I'm giving them massages. But I actually had a friend who every time he would hug me, it would turn into a massage. So it's so sneaky, because it would start as I'm talking about you, Kirill, if you're listening. Every time you give me a hug, the hug would turn into a massage. So, and I kind of like that. It was good. But physical touch, hug, kiss, hold hands, showing physical affection, intimacy, is a way that someone with love language, being touched, would need to feel love, is through touch. So if you're with someone whose love language isn't that, then you need to ask for it. So what the hack is with all of this is knowing what yours is and asking for it. I remember once I was in an elevator with my parents, and I had just released a song called Imagine. It was like the rap remix of John Lennon's Imagine. And we put a lot of time and energy to it. Shout outs to Nico and Michael Moon for co-creating it. And I was like, hey guys, I just did a video for the rap remix of John Lennon's Imagine. And they were both like, and I was like, well, guys, this is the part where you say, good job, son. So you can ask for what you're wanting if you're not getting it, right? Because if their love language, let's say, is acts of service, they're like, well, we're taking you out, we're going to pay for your food, we're hosting you in our home. Like those are, but like in that moment, I had to ask words of affirmation. I'm like, say good job, son, even though I was telling them. Sometimes you got to do it. Obviously, it would be so much nicer if the person just naturally, innately would offer it to us the way we want it. But you can also ask for it. You want to educate people on what your love language is. Honey, I really feel loved when I get touched. Can you give me a massage? That way they feel loved. So ask for it. Hey, I would really love it if you could send me a note once a day, just saying something nice, something you appreciate about me. The next one is receiving gifts. This was the lowest on my list, but realizing that for my mom and dad, that it's a way that they feel loved. Now, whenever it's their birthday, every now and then, just sending them a nice little gift card helps them feel loved. So it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about them, right? I'm not doing it. I'm not enforcing my love language on them. I'm honoring what their love language is and speaking their language to them. So receiving gifts, thoughtfulness, make your spouse a priority, speak purposefully, are how to communicate. Gifts, gestures, small things that matter in a big way. Gifts doesn't have to mean buying them stuff. You can make them stuff. You can make them a meal. Actually, that's acts of service. Okay, quality time. This is my older brothers, and I'm just such an active person. The Aries in me just wants to do stuff. So when I go to hang out with my brother, I want to do things. I want to riding a bicycle, going to the swimming pool. These are all doing things, right? Hiking, very active. And for him, it's very, let's be together. Let's share experiences together. Let's just have deep conversations. I want to just really ground in and be with you. And I kind of avoid that sometimes. I just want to do stuff with people. It's less intimate. And I'm learning to do that better, especially since being in a relationship with my partner, just like kind of grounding in and just being together and eye gazing more and breathing together and just being comfortable being together instead of always having to do stuff. And it's fine, the masculine in us wants to do things, and just balancing it with the feminine in us that wants to be. So that was challenging for me at first, and then I learned that was my brother's love language. And so when we were spending time together, I knew that it was his way of feeling loved. So then I got out of what I wanted to do, and I realized, I don't want to rob my brother from feeling loved, so let me spend some quality time with him. And last but not least is acts of service. Doing chores. Hey, babe, I did the dishes for you. I made lunch for us. I did laundry. Let me give you a massage. Like, just doing things for another is a way of giving love. So now what you want to find out, write in the comments, what is your number one way of receiving love? What's your number one love language? Maybe add what's your number one, number two. Most dominant. Some of us have all five somewhere in our kind of graph. If you can draw a pie, maybe it's like percentages of each. But one will be your most dominant. Some people say like it's equally between two. Share what your 1, 2, top 3 are below. And maybe just tune in, try to find out one other person's love language, one other person that you care about or was a big part of your life, partner, family, friends. Find out what their love language is, their number one love language, and start to see if you can let them, and the challenge is to let them know what your love language is so that you get to receive it from them, and find out what theirs are and offer them their love language and see how your relationship gets better and better. To conclude, would you like an infinity healing to completely, powerfully know your love language and experience your love language by asking for those around you, by educating them in what your love language is so that you can receive your love language from the relationships around you? Would you like that? Yes. And would you like an infinity healing to get into the habit of knowing what the love language is of those around you so that you can then use that information to make sure that they feel loved? Would you like an infinity healing to activate and embody that? Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. All right, guys, this concludes our video for this week. Stay tuned for next week's video. If you missed the ones from previous weeks, check them out. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button, share this with your community so that we can all love each other in a better way. And stay tuned. There's going to be so much more coming through, including a powerful summit coming up in a few weeks where we've got 6 healers coming together to support you, helping you activate, heal, integrate, whatever is needed so you can be the best version of yourself. That'll happen in the Infinite Abundance Retreat. Links are below. I love you. Keep shining, keep thriving, and I'll talk to you soon.
You're rising.